All right, so Mr. Beast uploaded, which his video is $10,000 every day you survive in the wilderness. Now, remember how back in the day, Mr. Beast uploaded that video about the guy who was stuck in like a grocery store and he only lasted about like 45 days? Now, listen, I feel like no disrespect to the guy. No disrespect to the guy in the grocery store, but he only made it to day 45. And the main reason why is because he wanted to go back to his wife and kids. And I get that. I totally understand that. Like, his kid was literally like only a couple months old or like a year old. You want to be there for your kid when they're growing up in that such a young age. But like, I don't got any kids. I mean, I have family, but I feel like they would be fine on their own if I were to be stuck in a grocery store. I think I could have made it to day 50. Like, this guy made it to day 45. I think I could have made it to day 50 easily. If I can make day 50 in the grocery store, that's a cakewalk because, again, it's, you know, the food is already prepared for you. The food is already stocked and ready. You're in a sheltered environment, so you don't got to worry about like if a storm is happening over your head. You don't got to worry about extreme weather. When you're in the wilderness, you're out in the open. Anything could happen. You know, you guys need to understand this. It gets really cold at night in the wild, like super cold at night in the wild, and it also like, you know, it might rain during the day, it might rain during the night. You got to build a shelter. You have to build a shelter from scratch so that you don't get drenched in the rainwater. And then if you get drenched by rainwater, you get hypothermia. And then, of course, you got to worry about food along with that as well. Now, I feel like $10,000 every day to survive in the wilderness. Like, will Mr. Beast give these guys supplies? Will he give them like water supplies or any like food supplies? Like, are there any type of, or is he just legit just releasing them into the wild and be like, okay, you're on your own. Let's find out.
I just dropped these two strangers off in the middle of the wilderness. These two guys have never met each other in their entire lives.
Nice to meet you, man.
Every day the two of you survive in this wilderness, I'll give you $10,000.
I hope you brought enough money, man. We're here for the long run.
Hey, put that camera down. Let's head out.
All right.
Take care, boys. This video can make you guys millionaires.
He's gonna be poor by the time we're out of here.
Okay, so $10,000 a day. So 10,000 in 10 days, 100 grand. So like, if you survive 10 days in the wilderness, you get 100 grand. So that means these guys need to survive 100 days. Yeah, because 10,000 per day, 10 days would be 100 grand. These guys need to survive 100 days in the wilderness to reach $1 million. And mind you, I think that it's not $10,000 each. I feel like it's $10,000 in total. So technically, these two guys are only going to be surviving like $5,000 a day in the woods, which is not bad. $5,000, earning $5,000 in one day is really awesome. But again, to reach $1 million for the both of them is 100 days. To reach 2 million so that each of them get $1 million, that would be 200 days. 200 days, you're basically going more than half the year at that point. I'm saying like if they, I'm just saying.
I'm Hase.
Hase, I'm Grizz. Nice to meet you, man.
Grizz? Yeah. All right, you're gonna be my best friend for the next however long.
Starting now, these guys receive $10,000 every day, with the only limit being how long they can survive, which theoretically means they could win unlimited money.
Dude, if we stay a year, we're both multi-millionaires. We are trying to find a camping spot, build a fire, survive the night.
I guess we should just set up camp here.
For the rest of the night, they gathered wood and went through their supplies.
We've got approximately 5 days worth of food, 2 things of water.
Looks like a change of clothes, some warm jackets, and boom, fire starter.
Let's see if we can get a fire going.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what is it, but there's something about a fire in the woods that is just like so cool. Maybe it's that like primal brain in us where our early ancestors made fire for the very first time. But seeing a fire go off in the woods, like a campfire in the woods, is like, I don't know, it's just so nice. It's so cool.
Yeah.
We are good.
Let's make beds out of pine needles. Won't be comfortable, but at least we won't freeze to death tonight.
We're alive. Day 2.
And in the
I'm sorry, but that footage, their POV footage of recording kind of reminds me of the Blair Witch Project.
morning, I showed up to give them their first $10,000. Boys, how was the first night?
It's cold.
It's been 24 hours, and I didn't walk over with 10 grand. You're not gonna ask?
Yeah, I guess we should, right?
Yeah. Okay, just look up. Oh my.
Here we go!
Every every 24 hours, we're to drop $10,000 out of a plane for you guys. There's $10,000
in a parachuted briefcase.
Catch it, don't catch it. No, watch out.
Bro, this is crazy. Bro, we're gonna be so rich by the end of this video.
And on top of that money, this is your flare gun.
Oh.
Be careful. Shoot it up in the air. The challenge ends for the both of you. And you walk away with the money you've won.
So how long should we stay out here?
$3.6 million for the year is crazy.
All right, the plan is officially a year. We're gonna split this in two. You get this.
Yes.
I get this.
Okay, that is smart. That is so smart. These guys splitting the flare gun makes so much sense. Okay, because first of all, like, if you want to last in the woods as long as possible, the last thing you want to do is like accidentally let the flare gun go off. You know, just accidentally let the flare gun go off is like, and then obviously like, if they get like, if one guy was like, I can't take it anymore, I'm done, that's it, screw it, they might get mad, they'll pick up the flare gun, they'll just shoot it. At least if they split it in half, in order to use the flare gun, they have to talk to each other. They have to like, they have to talk to each other. They have to be like, listen, I know you want to leave. I want to stay. Let's find a way to like compromise. Let's find a way so that we can last longer in the challenge, that type of stuff. It is smart that they divided the flare gun and the ammo. I appreciate that. And also, I kind of like how they're just dropping money out of the sky.
They can't screw each other over.
But later in this video, that plan doesn't exactly work.
All right, I feel bad, but I need to steal that flare gun.
Like, see, again, here's my thing though. Like, if I had the gun or the flare, I would not tell the other person where it is. I'd be like, listen, how about this? Once we split up the gun and the flare, we just hide it. We don't tell each other ever where it's at. Okay?
You just gotta shoot this thing, and I get to be a dad again.
If you fire that flare, I literally think I'm gonna kill you. Well, buddy, you ready to get rich?
Absolutely.
By day 3, you could say the boys were pretty tired of sleeping on the ground. So after another 10 grand, they started work on building their shelter.
You know, I know a lot of people are probably wondering like, oh, I might get robbed in the woods if money literally is falling from the sky. Like, I know people are obviously going to be thinking like, what if they get attacked by like a bear or a wolf in the night? But at the same time, I'm just like, what if they just get robbed? Like, what is stopping some random guy seeing them like catch like a briefcase full of money and then they get robbed in the middle of the woods?
Use my jacket to gather pine needles and layer them on the shelter.
All right, I found this metal piece from a kid's swing set, and I think it's gonna work great for the roof of our shelter.
Layer 1 on. Boom! Here's a section that we're working on. You can see it's got some structural poles. We get to use the parachutes and the cord, so we're gonna make a rain cover on our shelter.
Everyone thinks probably that I'll be the reason we leave and fail this challenge. But this money would mean college for the kids.
And then on day 4, they started looking for a water source.
Oh, there's a swamp.
I would feel safe boiling that.
Yeah, we gotta be careful because that stuff is full of bacteria and parasites.
I don't trust that water. I know it's boiled, but it doesn't look clear enough for me.
Ooh, just a touch of the swamp.
All right, we're going to bed.
Hopefully, Grizz snuggles up because it's cold and he's big and warm.
This is like the 3rd day in a row that we've gotten 2 hours of sleep. It's been so cold. If it rained right now, we'd probably have to go to the hospital.
But I'd do it for $10,000.
And it wasn't just the freezing temperatures that were getting to them.
We're at the end of our supplies. Grizz likes to call it a fast, which sounds so much nicer than starving.
And for the next few days, the hunger problem didn't get any easier.
We had a little square of beef jerky this morning, that's it. Jimmy gave us 5 days worth of food, and it's day 9 right now. These are greenbrier leaves. Grizz says they're edible, I guess. Yeah.
It was clear by this point that the boys were extremely hungry. But lucky for them, I had a surprise waiting for them on day 10. They've officially survived 10 days. Here's your briefcase.
You know what that means? 100 grand.
Yeah.
And don't leave. This is where the challenge gets interesting. Bring in the helicopter.
Oh, man. I'm nervous, dude. Oh, my gosh. Okay, that I'm excited about.
To celebrate day 10, we have your first offer. I can tell you guys are tired of eating leaves. So I brought you guys an additional 10 days worth of food, spices, 2 tarps, and everything you would need to fish. All of this for $50,000 of your prize money. You want some beef jerky? Yes. Don't eat.
This man, Mr. Beast is like, you want to eat? You don't want to starve to death? Give me half your money. Like, again, if he was a supervillain, like, he would be probably one of the most powerful supervillains. But it's like, okay, this is what I gotta say. At least with the cube challenge, because remember there were like 2 contestants that were inside a cube during the 100-day challenge. If they're inside the cube, they already had food stocked to last them the whole like challenge. So for them it's easier. If I was them in the cube challenge, I'd be like, no, I am going to battle it out. I'm not gonna take the food. I already have food supplied in the cube. But if I'm out in the woods, I need food. I can't last long without food. And like, you guys need to understand, like the thing is that they're out in the woods. They've already ran through all the food there is. Mr. Beast is not going to supply them with any food unless it comes at a price. But on top of that, like, in order to get food, you either have to find it or you have to hunt for it. And right now it's like, it looks like they don't got any weapons or anything to like hunt for food or anything, or fish for food. And obviously they can't like obviously you can find food in the forest, but even then, like, they're eating leaves at this point, and like eating leaves is not gonna help you last that long. So for me, I feel like I would have to take it, because like, again, I'm out in the woods. Do I fish? Like, I'm gonna have to make a fishing rod, a net, and everything. Like, it's way more complex compared to like the two people that were stuck in the cube where they already had all their food supply taken care of, or Alex, who was stuck in the grocery store. He had all his food worries taken care of.
Yeah.
Oh.
These beans look good.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, coffee.
We're gonna give you space. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
He's not kidding. Like, this is literally all the things we would need to fish. 50 grand.
50 grand.
If they don't take this deal, I mean, they're kind of stupid. 10 days worth of food means they make 100 grand, and they only have to pay 50 grand for it. I'm doing them a favor.
Should we talk to him now?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Jimmy.
If you make a decision in the next 60 seconds, I'll throw in 2 Feastable bars.
Yes. Let's do it.
Oh, you still had 59 more seconds, but okay. Here, I'll put that in the pile of food. Thank you for the 50 grand.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy the food. Oh, by the way, you also get the crate with it.
Okay, that's honestly great. The fact that they get the crate, now they can use the wood from the crate to make a shelter.
Thank you!
Thanks, Jimmy!
It's definitely a deal we had to say yes to, but that week of food literally cost as much as my kids' college tuition.
Hello!
Bro, I still can't believe it every time this money falls out of the sky.
The food from the crate will feed them for 10 days. But if they want to survive out here for a year...
All right, the plan is officially a year.
They'll still need to find more food in the wilderness.
So some of you may be wondering, why have they not caught fish? Well, the swamp nearby has no fish in it. What we really need is a moving water that we can fish in.
And while Hase was rambling on about his kids...
And my 2-year-old doesn't sleep very well either, so...
This happened.
I think being a dad... What is this? This is a creek. This is not a swamp. This is actually moving water. There's fish in here. Dude, look at this. It's like a dock.
This is the perfect place for food and shelter.
And after another few days full of a surprise freezing rainstorm...
At least now we have $100,000.
They decided to move and upgrade...
Awesome. I'm happy they made the 100 grand, but like, again, I think it was a smart move for them to sacrifice half their money for the food, because they said it was 10 supplies of food. And keep in mind, they use 5 supplies of food to last 10 days. So with 10 supplies of food, I think they can make it to like 15 to 20 days. But on top of that, they got the crate, which helps them make shelter. And now they're able to use the supplies to make some, you know, some fishing tools. So now they can get some fish.
their shelter near their newfound water source.
Good morning, Grizz.
How are you always up earlier?
We're gathering up a bunch of dead trees we can use for our structure.
And then we balance them together into an A-frame shape and cut the trees to the right length. Oh! I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm glad I broke your fall.
Sorry.
All right, so maybe they had a bit of a false start. But once they got the structure back up, they spent the entire next day putting their finishing touches on their shelter. They even built a fishing dock to help them catch more food.
That is so
Dock's
cool.
done.
Pleasantly surprised.
And now all we gotta do is catch a fish. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
And as good as this was, without sleeping bags, the winter night was still unforgiving.
They were doing this in the winter? Bruh, they were doing this in the winter? Bruh, do you know how hard it is, like, trying to sleep outside in the winter, like, in a city, let alone in the woods? Y'all need to understand, the woods get hella cold at night, especially in the winter.
On a really cold night, cold toes, cold feet, no sleeping bag.
So I think I knew what my next offer was. It's day 20 and they moved super deep in the woods, so now we have to get there by boat.
Do you hear that sound in the distance?
What'd you say?
Is that a boat?
Any minute now when we find them, I've got a fun offer for them. How's it going, boys?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Two things. First, the plane needed maintenance, so I'm delivering this by hand.
Hey, all
There's
right.
your $10,000, which puts you guys at $140,000. And second, we have an offer for you.
Ooh.
Reveal your offer. Just go ahead and take it off. Here it is.
Ooh. Oh.
You can either give me $10,000 for that red sleeping bag, or give me $50,000 and you get both sleeping bags.
What?
5 times the amount for both.
Oh, man.
Can I take it out?
Yeah, we should look at it.
Yeah, check them out.
Hang on, I just gotta do this.
These are the same sleeping bags we used in Antarctica. They work very well. Here's the weather forecast. It's gonna get pretty cold next week, so.
Yeah.
Oh man, like imagine giving a third of your way of your money for sleeping bags, but it's like, listen, I don't care how much money you make, you can't spend it if you die from hypothermia. I think it's hypothermia. Wait, is it hyper or hypothermia? Let me search. Yeah, hypothermia is a condition that occurs when core body temperatures drop down below 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Listen, I don't care how much money you can make out in the woods, you can't spend it if you die from hypothermia. Like you have to endure the cold. Remember, if you're planning to reach a year, you need to withstand the cold. When you're out in the woods, your two main priorities to survive as long as possible is food and water, you know, food and water, whatever you need to take care of your body sustenance wise, and then temperature. Like, how do you keep your body from not getting too cold or too hot? You can't, if you do not take care of either one of those things, you're as good as dead. I mean, obviously, I highly doubt Mr. Beast is going to let these guys get to the point where they're going to be hospitalized. I highly doubt he's going to do that. But still, like, if you're planning to reach it that long, you want to like take as much supply as you can. All those other contestants, they were lucky because they got to sleep inside a cube, which I'm 100% sure was pretty much well air conditioned, or they got to sleep inside a grocery store, which I'm also 100% sure was probably well air conditioned. These guys are out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Highly recommend you at least buy one.
When we started this thing out, we were in the 20s without anything. We've adapted to it. We have bedding, we have pine straw. We're doing pretty well in these low temperatures. I would love to have a sleeping bag, but $50,000 is...
I sleep closer to Grizz than I do my wife, so I'm not even kidding.
You're actually gonna say no to both?
It's a really cold night. No sleeping bag.
Yeah, so I think it's final. We don't want it.
Yeah, agreed.
Wow,
Oh, man.
not even a single sleeping bag. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say a hot take. I feel like it. Obviously, I understand why they don't want to like spend $50K for 2 sleeping bags, and Mr. Beast is smart for doing this because it's like, let me offer you something that's cheap, but then double it, but make it worth more than double its price. So that way, you're kind of thinking. I would have been like, listen, how about this? We just take one sleeping bag and we alternate between each night. We just alternate between each night. We just alternate, and that way we can endure it a lot better.
All right, boys, close it up. Sure, the boys could survive without sleeping bags, but that didn't solve their food problem. In between sitting out rainy days, the boys got into a bit of a routine where they would boil water, work on their shelter, and try to catch fish, which wasn't really working out for them.
We got some guts for bait. We're gonna cast them out, and hopefully the fish come up off the bottom of the creek.
Day after day of failing to catch any fish,
Let's go check the lines, see if any catfish are on.
they finally caught a wind in their sails.
Oh, Grizz!
Or whatever that abomination of Mother Nature
Oh,
was.
is that an eel? Is that an eel?
First fish, it's an eel, and I think I'm gonna charcoal grill it. We're gonna have ourselves some American-style unagi.
This is the first thing that we've caught out here in 27 days, which is insane. We're happy to have it, and we're gonna make it delicious.
I don't know if this is what I would call delicious, but the fact that they haven't had a fresh meal in almost 30 days means even a rock would taste good to them at this point.
It's excellent.
It's so good. It's just like amazingly good.
If we keep catching fish like this, we can easily stay for a year, bro.
Dude, yeah, $3.6 million.
Good night! And on day 28, they started constructing their raised bed system in their new shelter.
So it's gonna be 2 tripods, 1, 2, side rails going down, slats across, and then a nice pine needle mattress made out of parachutes.
And after seeing their new shelter become more and more comfortable, I was starting to get worried that I was gonna have to pay these guys millions of dollars.
The only regret that I have, they're not bunk beds.
That's honestly an L.
They were
I really love the way they made that tent. It literally looks like a small house.
betting everything on their new shelter being right next to this creek. But that may have been a huge mistake because
Oh no, yeah, the water is about to flood. The water is rising. You guys see how like right here the dock is almost submerged? The moment I see the dock submerged is where I'm like, yo, we need to move our shelter further away from the water.
they couldn't catch another.
Because okay, listen, I appreciate why they want to be close to a nice source of water. It's like they're close to a source of water, and and I get the positives of it. You're close to a source of water. That means that you have a nice source to get your drinking water. On top of that, you have a nice source for fishing. But the thing is, there is a thing as too close. Like right now, like you see right here, the dock that the guy is standing on, he is he's basically just standing on water with just a little bit of wood to keep him afloat. Like I remember when these two guys started showing up to the river or the stream, like the dock was well up in the air, but now it's almost submerged. So that means that it takes just one really bad rainy day, for all that water to rise to eventually lead to like water coming into like their camp. And next thing you know, they're gonna have so much, like they're gonna be like having wet supplies and stuff, and they're gonna be extra cold.
Their eel to save their lives.
Snapped it. At this point, I've spent more time in the wilderness than I have with my newborn son. I also have a
Oh my God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine spending more time in the wilderness than your newborn son? Like, dang.
2-year-old with my wife alone. How do you explain to a 2-year-old that daddy's gonna be gone and he won't talk to you and he won't call you and he won't see you? Say they were making us an offer. What would be something that you would actually buy?
We spend a lot of time out here trying to get firewood. You know, having firewood dropped off would be really nice. I'd probably pay $10,000 for that.
We are literally in the middle of the forest. I couldn't tell you where we are anymore. All right. How's it going, boys?
Doing great, man. How are you?
As a reward for surviving an entire month, I brought you a store.
Oh, okay.
You see, we come through all of your vlog footage and we wrote down everything you've asked for, such as firewood, a shovel, cooking supplies, bedding, and even books and board games. It's like
I'm not gonna lie, this almost feels like a video game. Like it legit feels like a video game where like your supply guy at a store is like, hey, you're about to face a boss. Want to buy some supplies? Want to buy some health potions? Want to buy some like extra weapons? Anything else? Maybe some nice armor? It really does feel like a video game.
Dollar store, but everything costs 10 grand.
Oh, man.
This is your store? Feel free to shop.
We've won 240 grand. Might as well check it out.
What are these? Those are mosquito nets.
Okay, before I shop, I would have been like, listen, we have 240 grand. The max I'm willing to spend is 40 grand. I'm not going below the $200,000 mark. 40 grand is the max amount I'm gonna spend.
Oh, we'll use parachutes. We don't need those.
All right, what about the hammocks?
I like the hammocks, but you know, we haven't tried making them out of parachutes yet.
All right, Grizz, answer this. What can you not make out of parachutes?
A lot.
All right, well, do you guys want the firewood?
How much wood?
That's the wood you get.
If it came with unlimited wood, I would buy it.
I offered them literally everything they could possibly need here, and they still weren't interested. I was beginning to think these two were secretly Navy SEALs or something. Are you guys gonna buy?
Bruh, Mr. Beast looks so mad. Like, bro, this man looks so mad. He looks like he wants to kill them. Allegedly. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is that evil villain stare. He's giving them that like, bro, what is it gonna take for these guys to spend some money, like, or what is it gonna take for them to give up? I've already threw them into the woods. I've already like took away, like, again, they're out in the woods, they're barely making ends meet, you know, they have to fish, they have to build stuff out of whatever. Like, what is it gonna take for these guys to leave? Like, bro, this is the stare of a villain. Like right now, this really is the stare of a villain.
Deals or something. Are you guys gonna buy literally anything? You make 10 grand a day. What's another 10 grand?
I gotta say no.
All right. In a million years, would not have thought they would say no to everything. Next time, I'm gonna convince you two to spend money.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. See you, Jimmy.
There he goes.
In his.
Oh, you know what Jimmy should have done? He should have been like, okay, if they really want to spend money, and I feel like it's gonna happen in the video, he's gonna be like, give me $50,000 and you can have one FaceTime call with your family. And this is my final offer, because the next time I'm coming back is gonna be 100. The next time I'm coming back after that is gonna be 200,000. Like, that's what he should be doing.
Dang.
Do some psychological warfare on them.
Stop right here. I have a special surprise for all of you. Nolan, what does this look like?
A lot of phones.
1,000 phones to be exact. Because over the next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24. I literally spent over $1 million on these phones, and I'm giving them away to you. All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe. It's literally free. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you guys have been doing for the channel. It means the world to me. Subscribe, win one of these phones. Let's go. And And so they continue without any of the tools for my offer. But go figure, for the next few days, they weren't able to catch any fish. And even though the money kept coming, they were running out of food and time to catch it quickly.
I am on the last belt loop. I think that we have maybe 2 days worth of food left.
That's not good. Without a boat, this creek is not productive. We gotta go to that river. If I can get to that river and the fishing is good, that'll turn all this around.
And with their rations running dangerously low, their only hope at getting food was to travel through the swamp to the river on the other side in hopes of catching some fish.
It's risky wasting all these calories, but I have to do it if we're gonna make it any further.
But after a grueling hike, Hase finally found what he was looking for.
Oh my God! Woo! Look at that! It's the river! Is that not the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? Woo! Finding this river is probably the difference between us making our goal and us tapping out early.
Fortunately, he had a secret weapon.
Grizz and I made our own fishing pole, and this is gonna make catching fish easy.
Oh, wow. Oh, great.
With Hase's makeshift fishing pole immediately breaking, he was going to have to use his hands, and he spent hours trying.
Oh, I got one.
And failing.
Oh, no.
And if he couldn't catch any fish without immediately dropping them, the calories burned coming here would have been for nothing. But just when he was ready to give up,
This one's gonna be it.
Ah, yeah! Holy moly!
Yo.
Yes, I told you it was that one!
Yo.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
And it's a pretty big one. It's a really big one. It's really nice.
and the luck didn't stop there.
I cannot wait to bring this back to Grizz. He's gonna be so stoked. We're eating tonight.
Hey! All right, that's awesome.
Feels like this is our first real food in ages.
But in the meantime, I was preparing an offer that I know they couldn't refuse. It's day 40. They've made over a third of
Man, 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. Sounds pretty biblical.
$1 million, and I have an incredibly special offer for them. For $10,000, and I think you're really gonna like this, you both can see your wives. In fact, they're watching right now.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew. Oh my God, was I mute the whole time? Oh my God. Anyway, so I knew that this guy, I just knew that Mr. Beast was gonna be like, hey, you wanna talk to your family again? You wanna see your family again? You better give me money. It's, again, I knew that Mr. Beast was gonna be like, you wanna talk to your family again? You wanna see your family again? You better give me money. You better give me my money back. Which, again, it feels like a supervillain move. Like, out of context, it sounds like a supervillain. Yeah, Keon, I'm reacting to people's videos. It sounds like a supervillain type of mentality where it's like, hey, you want to see your family again? Give me some money. Like, and I forgot what was the name of the other guy. I had a feeling that not only was he gonna make it like a psychological thing, because again, they've been in the woods for 40 days. It has been over a month that they have not talked to any other family or friends. I'm surprised that he said only $10,000, because I thought he was gonna be like 50 or like 100, something like that. But the thing is that like, oh yeah, so the contestant with the black shirt, the one in the middle that's like right next to Mr. Beast, I feel like he's gonna go for it, because throughout this whole entire video, this man is like, I miss my wife, I miss my kids, my baby's literally like only a few months old, I need to see my family again, I want to see my family again. But then you got like the guy with the beard and the hat, like he rarely has talked about his family. Like he only mentions them once in a while, but he seems to be really chill. I feel like he's not gonna go for it, but the middle dude, I feel like he is. And because the middle guy goes for it, then like the wife of the dude with on the left, Grizz, I feel like Grizz's wife is gonna be like, bro, you're not gonna spend money to see me. The other guy did it. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be something.
No.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Oh, man.
I can't let down my kid.
I know. I can't let down my wife.
Okay, Jimmy.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. Honestly, $10,000 is kind of cheap. I would have been gone full psychological warfare. I've been like, bro, you're gonna have to give me $50,000 if you want to see your family again. You want to see your family again? Give me $50K. Or at least $20,000, because I mean that's like $10,000 each.
It's me, it's Daddy.
Oh my God.
I smell so bad. Oh.
Hi, Talia.
As nice as it was to see their families, the visit was also bittersweet, because there's one big question on everyone's mind.
How long do you want us to stay?
I want you home now. Like, I do.
I know you want.
330,000 divided by 2 is 300,000 divided by 2 is 150,000. So 150,000, let's put that to the side. 30,000 divided by 2 is 15,000. So 150,000 plus 15,000 would be, let's see, 150,000 plus 15,000 is 165,000. So at this point, these guys could give up and they could walk with $165,000, which is not bad. I think that's a good price. I say, for me, if I was in this challenge, my goal would be to at least walk out of the woods with $100,000. If I can walk out of these woods with $100,000, that's a win for me. But these guys, you know, they got family, they got a kid, they're always trying to raise higher. They're at 165,000, and I'm like, man, like, I feel like they're gonna try to motivate themselves so they can at least walk out with 200K by the end of this video.
Want me home, but do you need me home?
Yes, she needs you. Yes, you need to bond with your son.
Oh my god, look how small the baby is.
I don't care what the other guy says. You've made enough money. I need you home.
Again, Mr. Beast is a villain, bro. He's got that psychological warfare going. That I know that he only offered 10K, but my god, man, if I was going super villain, I would have gone for that 50.
That conversation was so difficult for me. Even so, yesterday was a really good day. It had all of the things that I love. It had my family, my wife, my kids, my buddy Grizz. That was like a really huge gift. Oh, they're gone now.
To hold her and know that she was safe, it really has changed the way that I'm viewing this entire challenge. Knowing I have my wife's support, I want to stay until I have 1 million.
Does Grizz have any kids? Like, I want to know, does Grizz have any kids? Because I feel like maybe that's the only reason why he's not leaving. And it only kind of like messes up because it's like the other guy, he wants to leave now. He wants to be with his kids now. But at the same time, Grizz is like, bruh, my wife said it's cool. I want to stay out here for as long as possible.
Dollars. And after,
if I was Grizz, I'd be like, let's at least make it to day 50. If he starts doubting, I'd be like, let's at least make it to day 50. We make it to day 50, then I'll take that as a personal win.
some much needed family time, Hase and Grizz were much happier than I'd
That's the guy's name, Hase.
ever seen them.
I'm not gonna lie, Hase and Grizz sounds like a rap duo.
Ambush!
Let's smoke some fish. Look at that. This is perfect.
Even when something happened that would have totally drained them before.
400,000.
By now, they didn't even seem to mind.
It looks like someone had a gender reveal, and the gender was just money.
Even though their spirits were high, there was still a problem they needed to solve. In order to get to the river to fish, they would first need to trudge through this giant swamp. But if they had a boat, they would easily be able to float down the creek to the river.
I am building a boat. The idea is to create a frame with sticks and then attach our tarp so the whole thing can float.
Not feeling super confident in the boat build.
If we can get down to fish without having to tromp through a whole swamp, it's worth the risk. Time for the first sea trial of my beautiful ship.
Here he goes.
Grizz! Da, 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 da.
And this is pretty ironic, considering the offer I was about to bring them. It's day 50. Let's see how they're
Bro, what is Mr. Beast really out here walking around with a tank?
doing.
Hey!
Bro, you guys have a village now. Wait, are you serious? You built a boat?
Yeah, man.
You're telling me this thing can actually float?
You wanna try it?
Yeah, I don't... Oh my gosh, it actually works. He built a freaking boat in the woods. All right, now that I'm aware of that, this changes a lot of things. It's actually insane that you two built a boat yesterday because I brought the two of you a boat with the Zaxby's restaurant on it.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool, Jimmy.
Before I present the offer, I want to make sure you're in a really good state of mind. This is our brand new Mr. Beast box, which are now live at every single Zaxby's across.
I think it's nice that because of the sponsorship, these guys get to eat. They're like, listen, man, don't worry. The food is for free. You can just eat this.
America.
Oh my God, that is so good.
The Mr. Beast box comes with the best tasting chicken known to man. And the cool part is every single meal comes with a Feastables bar. Our goal with this collab...
I'm not gonna lie. So I'm in the DMV. I don't have a Zaxby's near me whatsoever. But one time when I took a trip down to South Carolina and I had some Zaxby's, it's really good. I'm actually surprised how good Zaxby's is. Like, I really wanted to try Zaxby's. I was in South Carolina. I saw Zaxby's. I was like, yo, I need to try Zaxby's right now. It's really good. Like, I'm actually surprised how much I like it. I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying, I just really like it. Now, is it my favorite chicken place? I don't know. I don't think so. I need to reevaluate my chicken tier level. I hope that a Zaxby's shows up in the DMV at some point, but like, well, I don't know, man. Because right now in the DMV, all we have is KFC, which is trash, Popeyes, which is pretty good. I really like Popeyes, and we have Chick-fil-A, which I really like Chick-fil-A too. But other than that, I don't know, man. It's just I really like Zaxby's, but I don't know where I would rank it. Keon, so yeah, Zaxby's never heard. So Zaxby's is like a chicken place, kind of like a Popeyes or a KFC type of place, but it's mainly in the South, like in the deep South, and sort of like how In-N-Out Burger is all in the West Coast. Zaxby's is just a chicken place that's mostly in the South. So you're not going to see any Zaxby's in like the DMV. But I tried it. I liked it.
Was to take the world's best chicken and pair it with the world's best chocolate.
Indeed.
Zaxby's also has 12 sauces.
There's like so many flavors happening in my mouth. What is that? That's really good.
It's a Zax sauce.
Look how happy they are. If you want to be happy like them, just go to Zaxby's and get the Mr. Beast box right now. Now that you guys have gotten your meals, your day 50 offer is for 50 grand. You can have this boat.
We don't have a motor. We don't have any way to get this thing around.
Damn, that defeats the purpose.
So you just use sticks.
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Since you weirdly built the boat the day before, I'll give you a discount. We'll make it $40,000.
My answer is I love the ship I made. I trust it with my life. So I'm going to leave it up to Grizz.
For $40,000, I'm going to pass on the boat.
Yes!
I'll get in Haze's death trap instead.
If that sinks and you have to quit, I tried.
We appreciate the food. That was lovely.
Bye, Jimmy.
I'll see you next time.
I kind of understand why Mr. Beast said that if it sinks, you have to quit, because it's like they're sailing down a river. If it sinks, they drown. If they drown, they're potentially in danger, and that's like a lawsuit in the waiting. That is like a liability in the waiting. Like it's just. Oh, Keon, you live in Florida. Yeah, I feel like I think there's Zaxby's in Florida. I'm not sure. But I feel like if you like Zaxby's, it's worth checking out. But it's like, I liked it. I really did like it. But I only wish that they were in the DMV. But it's not like, but Zaxby's, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best chicken in the world when I ate it. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is better than any chicken I've ever had. No, I've had better fried chicken, but I've had way worse. Trust me when I say I've had way worse chicken than Zaxby's. Yeah, if this thing sinks, like, Mr. Beast has to get him out of the water, or else he will get sued because they might drown. It becomes a whole liability. I kind of understand why he said that. Like, hey, if it sinks, this challenge is over. Like, there's some things that Mr. Beast has to put limitations on so he doesn't get sued and he doesn't get in trouble.
So this ship saved us $40,000.
Still a death.
He should have put a motor on that Zaxby's thing, though.
Hey.
Man, when we first started this thing, it was in the dead of winter. You remember how cold it was?
Yeah, now everything is so nice and warm.
And spring was now in full bloom, and they were looking pretty comfortable.
There's a lot of flowers here. I can't say that I mind it.
What is today, 51?
I don't know. I lost track.
I hear an airplane coming in.
Where?
Oh, he's coming straight at us.
To keep track of the days, I would be like, if I'm stacking the money, I'll be like, we're making the columns as tall as 10. So like, column 1, reach this 10. The next, we start column 2, reach to 20, column 3, reach to 30. So basically, every full column is going to be 10 days, so that way I don't keep track. That way it's just much easier.
This briefcase puts us at $440,000. Time to build the Hase Grizz love seat.
80% of what we're sitting on here is going straight to my business.
This case. No, I don't want Katie to work 24-hour shifts anymore.
This money's gonna do so much for her and our family.
But while the warmer weather was nice, it presented new problems like snakes.
Don't want to get bit by that.
Oh no, yeah, see, okay, so there's pros and cons with being in the winter and in the spring. So like in the winter, extreme cold weather, horrible. But guess what? You don't gotta worry about any animals. Like a snake is a reptile. Almost every reptile is not gonna be disturbing you. They're away in hibernation or brumation, whatever it's called. A lot of predators like bears, they are also going to sleep. Again, now when spring comes out, a lot of these animals are gonna be coming out too. So now you gotta fight all these other animals.
And rats. Get out of here! Every night.
Oh my God, yeah. See, a lot of people forget that, like, when you're out in the woods, like, everyone thinks about the big animals, like bears, wolves, and sometimes even snakes. People will always forget about the little animals, like rodents and bugs. Rodents and bugs, they are a death by 1,000 cuts. They will make you want to leave the woods as fast as you can before you even think about the big animals.
And it wasn't long until the lack of sleep started to make them irritable.
Looks like Hase is struggling to get over here. Hase, do you need my help?
What does it look like?
You want to paddle up river into the wind?
Hayes, why don't you go get those fishing lines fixed?
You know what? You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
He's angry. Can you check those lines while you're over there?
What do you think I'm doing?
I don't know, just asking.
Thank you for telling me to do what I'm already doing once again.
Very angry.
Keep in mind, at this point, Hase and Grizz were very close friends. But Hase had reached the end of his rope, and the jokes just weren't hitting the same.
Right now, they're at $500,000. I feel like, again, maybe it's because they have families, they got businesses, they got more skin in the game. But me, I'm like, listen, if I walk out of the woods with $100,000, I would be fine with that. I would accept that. I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. I am fine. But they got $500,000 already. They are gonna have $20,000. So $500K split in half is $250. Then you do 20. So they're walking out of the woods with $260K. Like, that already is good enough as it is, if you ask me. But again, I don't know what their situation is like. Maybe they need even more money. But hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Anymore.
Grizz's idea about how this would unwind is not working, obviously, because it's a stupid idea.
Hayes, I'm sorry, buddy. I did not know I was actually pissing you off. I did not know that you were actually upset.
It's all right.
Okay.
And so, feeling frustrated, Hase turned off his camera and paddled downriver, where he set up his camp until the next day.
Hayes has set sail, and I think he may have run away. I'll certainly be thinking about him. I know it's supposed to be cold at night. He's not back in a couple days, so I'm gonna have to go looking for him. Let's do something to cheer him up. So we got a huge board over here that was left by Jimmy at the last beast drop, and I'm gonna repurpose it into a table with some of our cases. It's actually pretty sturdy.
And when Hase returned home, he was not empty-handed.
Sounds like Hayes has returned from his great adventure. Nice. Oh, those are sea trout.
I'm pretty wiped out. Mind if I take a minute?
No, man, do your thing.
Grizz,
Yeah, buddy.
what's this?
It's our table.
We have a table?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I figured that'd perk him up a little bit.
This is a $100,000 table, Grizz.
Welcome back, buddy. Come on.
With their
Yeah, Keon, you don't need to talk too much. You can go ahead and eat. I'm sorry, I don't know what is it, but there's something about loud noises out of nowhere that just make me laugh.
survival needs met and their friendship restored, one question still remained. How long will they stay?
We gotta have a serious conversation.
Okay, day 65. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm at day 65, I'm gonna be like, listen, man, let's make it to day 70. Let's just make it to day 70. If you feel like you cannot bear it anymore, that you just can't do it anymore, let's just make it to day 70. 5 more days. At least we can end on a strong number. 70 is 70 is a nice number. Let's just end it at 70, and then we can walk out of here. They already made $500,000. They're at $580,000. They're only 2 days away from $600,000. They're only 2 days away from making $300K. I would be like, listen, we're at day 65. Let's make it to day 70. If we make it to day 70, and if you want to leave, I will pull out that flare gun and I will shoot it up in the sky.
Yeah.
The end. Honestly, I'd have been done 5 days ago.
Maybe push like an extra week. I mean, hell, that's $35,000 each.
If I pulled that flare on day 70, how would you feel?
I would feel really let down and lied to. I propose at day 70, we have a conversation, decide if we're gonna push further.
That's fair. I promised Grizz that I would stay longer for him, but I'm not happy about it.
Morning, guys. So, Hayes has been a little upset. I'm seeing.
All right, $600,000. You're already at $600,000. I'm at day 67. I'm like, listen, man. I'm like, if I'm honestly, also in my mind, if I have already made $500,000 in this game, like we're already at $600,000. If I have already made $300K, I feel like this is already a good enough number. At day 67, I'd have been like, you know what, man? You know what? Let's just go. Sorry. You know what? Let's not go home. Day 70, man. You know what? Day 70. Let the 70th day be our homecoming day. We're gonna do it. We're gonna freaking do it.
He's keeping to himself, so I'm a little worried about him.
Spoken to Grizz about it. He wants me to stay longer. He's kind of pushing me to stay longer and stay longer. At some point, I gotta stop being wilderness guy and go be dad.
Another day.
Aww.
Yeah. Oh, no. I knew that was gonna happen. I saw it. Oh, no. Hayes going to check out the case that is dropped from the sky.
day 70. I'm gonna see if Grizz is good being done today. See what he says.
What are we gonna do with all this money?
Kind of want to talk to you about that. Kind of ready to hit the flare. What do you think about that?
I want to stay longer. I know that you've got to pull away from this thing with family.
I know. We've talked about it 1,000 times. I just want to know how you feel about it today. Yes or no?
Can you go one more day? Give yourself 24 hours just to kind of feel it out.
I thought a lot about it, but
I feel like Grizz, like, it's because I don't know. I don't think Grizz has any kids. I don't know if he mentioned kids in this video. I feel like it's because Grizz doesn't have any kids. He's like, I can do it. I can make it to day 100. I can make it to day 200. This man is like, bro, I have a baby who's only like 4 months old. I have a baby who's 4 months old. I have like a 2-year-old. My wife, she works and she's taking her two kids by herself. I need to go home now. If I was Grizz, like, because in my mind I'm like, we're at 630. We're at $315,000. $315,000. That's I feel like is not completely life changing, but it definitely changes a lot in your life. It's not like $1 million where you can change your entire life, but it definitely is going to change things in your life, but it's not going to be life changing. I don't know, man. If I was in Grizz's place, I'd probably shoot the flare because Hase would give me that, like, bruh, I need to be with my kids. Like, I would have that guilty conscience. If I was Hase, I'd understand why he would want to go home. But I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you, man. Like, again, maybe it's because it's the wilderness. The other challenges, in my opinion, the other challenges were either staying in like a cube with another person for 100 days, or staying in a supermarket for as long as you can. Those seem easier compared to being in the wilderness. When you're in the wilderness, like, anything can happen outside. And like, I'd gladly be inside that cube by myself for 200 days than have to try to survive in the wilderness by myself or with another person. Oh wow, you're eating breakfast? What time is it over there for you? 10:16 a.m. Like, where are you from? Oh, Asia. Okay, cool. Oh wow. I have an audience member from on the other side of the planet. That's awesome. That's great. I appreciate that.
If you want to go another day, let's go another day.
Just for context, I'm in North America.
How's it going, boys?
How are you, buddy?
Good. Let's go on a little walkie walk. We can go over here. Let's say Hase isn't a part of the equation.
Yeah.
How many more days do you think you could survive out here?
Let's call it.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for following and showing support. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
45 days would probably be as far as I
feel like Grizz, he wants to aim for day 100. To him, that's his goal. He says 45, but in my opinion, I feel like he wants to go for that 100 so badly. And I feel like if Hase came up to him and be like, yo, let's go for day 100, Grizz would be like, in a heartbeat, like, yeah, let's go all out for day 100. But Hase is ready to leave.
Yo.
How many do you think he has left in the tank?
In my opinion, I feel like, okay, so you know how like when Mr. Beast ended the video for the cube between the guy and the girl? Yeah. The video where it was the guy and the girl in the cube, how the challenge ended. The challenge ended with like the prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma was, hey, you know, press the green button, you split the prize. Press the red button, you steal the prize. If you both press green, you split the money. If one of you presses red, you just take it. You know, you just take it all to yourself. I don't know what happened. I forgot what was gonna happen if they both press red. But I feel like right now, if I was Mr. Beast, because this is day 70, he usually shows up in 10 days interval. If I was Mr. Beast, I would do the prisoner's dilemma. I would definitely do the prisoner's dilemma, and on them, like put them into separate booths. You know, and I'm like, if you both press the green button, you stay in the game. If one of you presses the red button, you're going home. And if both of you press the red button, obviously you're still going home. I feel like that's what I would do.
He talks about it every day.
How often do you think about shooting the flare?
Every day.
What stops you?
At this stage, Grizz, you know, he wants to make $1 million, and it's hard to say no to that. I have an obligation to him too, but it's starting to go towards family. Yeah.
When you do shoot that flare, that's gonna be crazy.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, last night.
If I was Grizz, I'd be like, okay, listen, man. If it comes to a point, I'm gonna be like, if he comes to a point where he's like unstable and he's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna shoot it at any minute, I'm gonna be like, let's just aim for day 77. Day 77 is the final day. 77, you know, 7 is a lucky number. 77, lucky number. Let's end it there.
I don't want to disappoint Grizz, but I think I'm done. Thought it would be cool to to come back here to our first camp where I was shoulder to shoulder with Grizz every single night. And after that, it was like, all right, dude, we're brothers now. I expected to walk away with a lot of money, but I didn't expect to walk away with like a friend for life. And that's so meaningful to me.
Aww.
I kind of got to think about what's right for me and my family.
Hase got so desperate that he literally went into Grizz's bag and stole the flare gun, even though it was his idea to separate it into 2 parts.
At this point, all I have to do is shoot this thing, and I get to be a dad again, you know?
I know this thing is very challenging. What we're doing out here is not easy. I really, truly do believe that you're doing what's right for your family.
I disagree.
You're providing for them in a way that's going to change their lives.
Now, it's gone the other way.
I kind of like, the thing is, I feel like I can't disagree with Hase. He's like, listen, like, because the thing is, they're at 670. They're on the verge of walking with almost $400,000. Almost, not exactly, but almost $400,000, which is not bad. But me personally is like, if I was Grizz at this point, I would be like, okay, you're on the cusp. It's day 74. I'm going to let you hold on to that flare gun until day 77. Day 77, we get because $670,000. Tomorrow will be 680. 76 day 76 will be 690. Day 77 is $700,000. They cap off at 700 grand. I'm gonna, at this point, if I'm pressed against the wall, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you hold on to that flare gun for the next 3 days. All I ask is that we make it to day 77, because I feel like 77 is the perfect cutoff. 77 is a lucky number. 77 is where we make 700 grand. Sevens all across. It's a lucky number. Let's end it right then and there.
Now it's, I think I need to be there.
I think that you've been really upset and you've been missing your family really bad. I feel like
I think the money doesn't matter.
Through
the money doesn't the money doesn't matter to me anymore. And really the only thing that's keeping me here is you. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah. My family needs me too, you know.
And you're very good at, you know, manipulating me.
It was clear that in this moment, Grizz was going to have to make a decision. Convince Hase to continue surviving in these woods for more and more money. Or
I would have been like, okay, let's make it a day 77.
Or be there for his friend when he needed him the most.
I can't imagine having gone through this experience with anyone else. I mean, I really do, like, I genuinely think of you like a brother, you know. I'm sorry that I've just pushed you on and on and on.
I just don't want to let you down.
You're not letting me down.
Yeah, I am.
Brothers don't let each other down. This is the way it is. Everything's got to come to an end sometime. Let me see that flare. I owe you this, and
I would at least aim for day 75. I don't know. I kind of want to end on a right number. Maybe it's the number file in me. I would have been like, you know what? We're at day 74. Like, I would have been like, let's end it at day 77. 77 days, 700 grand, sevens all around.
To be honest with you, I'm sorry that it's taken so long. I think it's time for us to do this thing, buddy.
Bam.
I love you, buddy.
Or at least convince him to hold on to the gun till tomorrow. I'll be like, let's just wait till tomorrow. At least day 75.
You smell bad.
I think they shot the flare. No, you take that one. Let's go check in on him. Rich! Boys!
Hey, Jimmy.
Oh my God. When we dropped them off, this is what they looked like. And here's them 74 days later. Crazy.
Yes, they look crazy.
You haven't left these woods in 74 days.
Dude, I'm so ready.
One final.
That's literally a month and a half. They literally were stuck in the woods for, no, sorry, not a month, 2 months and a half. They were stuck in the woods for 2.5 months.
Surprise.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh! I'm Italian baby!
After 74 days, they've won $670,000. And in case you forgot, we're giving away 1,000 Samsung phones to random people that subscribe in the next week. So don't forget.
Bro, I would have been. Is it messed up that if I was in Grizz's position, I'd be like, you know what? Listen, man. I'm gonna give you the gun. I'm gonna let you hold on to the gun. My only thing now is let's just make it to day 77. It's day 74. We're at $670,000. I want to end on a right number. 77 is the lucky number. 7 is like we make it to 700K. It's a lucky number. And if I can't convince him to 77, I'd be like, okay, fine. Let's do day 75. Day 75. 75, good number 2, right in there. But that's just the, not even for the money, it's the number, like the number obsession with me. Also, let's not forget the 74th Hunger Games. They ended on day 74. The 74th Hunger Games was like Katniss and Peeta having to survive in the woods. So I don't know. I feel like it's pretty fitting.